I'll be in the garden section at a local Bi-Mart and picking up seeds, and people will come by and say, don't bother, you can't grow that. Don't bother, don't bother. If I did not bother. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that I bothered. Hey guys, welcome back to Black, White, and the Grays. My name is Kylie Gray and welcome to our farm. We are located in Central Oregon. We're Garden Zone 3. Oh, you've got a little hay on your mic. I got hay everywhere. I just fed the cows some hay. We also get frost all year round, so what I'm about to tell you isn't surprising. Maybe, I don't know. It's September, let's think, 19th. Yep. It's September 19th, and tonight I got a notification from our my local weather app saying that we have a freeze warning, which is funny because we've been freezing since mid-August and haven't got a freeze warning. But tonight we do, which tells me, traditionally when I look at the weather and I'll see like a low of 36, I will be like, oh, it's going to be 26. So that's what I'll have in my brain. It's at least 10 degrees colder than what any weather, even our local one that's out of Bend, can predict. And they just really can't predict our weather. We are Cascade Mountains, we're at Zone 3, so we get super cold, and nobody can really predict how cold we're gonna get. And each within our microclimates. So technically, if the La Pine weather, the city of La Pine could be more warm than the outskirts in certain pockets, and we tend to be in this pocket a little more chilly than other parts of La Pine, and that's okay because typically we get a lot more snow, and I love me some snow. But I kind of wanted to come in here, and I could be way off. So if it says we have a low of 26, which it does, that could be a low of 16. And I wasn't planning on filming tonight, and I got my butt out of my cozy. I had a fire, so my house is nice and toasty. We like started in the morning, but it's warm. Got out of my toasty fall house and was about to put on some Gilmore Girls for literally my 30th time watching it through. And I would like to tell you that's an exaggeration, but I've been watching it since I was in 7th grade, and I'm now 33, almost 34. So, and I've probably watched it once a year, at least once a year. So what does that tell you? Okay, so the moral of my story is I brought my cozy Gilmore Girls watching self out to this garden because I had to give it a farewell goodbye and enjoy it. And a couple things I want to share with you is we had our final kiss of summer this past weekend. I didn't film anything. It was just a beautiful time. And it got up into like the 90s for 3 or 4 days, and it was just beautiful. It was hot and I loved it. And normally I don't really like heat. I've talked to you guys, I've told y'all 1,000 times I just don't love heat. But this time I'm just really enjoying it. And this is a special gardening year. It's a special garden. It's just meant a lot for me. And I'll talk about it. I'll link the video up here that I kind of go into and I kind of figure out why it was so special to me. And I have been waiting for all of my sunflowers to be in bloom, and I had several mammoths that were yet to be in bloom, and I believe they're all in bloom now. If it were to go tonight or tomorrow night, which is actually colder, it says it's a low of 23, which should be a low of 13 if we're going the 10-degree difference, these sunflowers will surely perish overnight, either tonight or tomorrow. And I'm just going to soak up this garden in its last of the summer beauty. You can tell where it was really popping at first. It's really fading into the sunset. Those sunflowers are already coming to their end, and I'm leaving them to dry out, and I'll save the seeds I want, and then I give them to my chickens, and they really love them. Speaking of chickens, it's a lot quieter on the farm today because we actually downsized our chicken flock by 30. We got rid of 30 chickens just, what's today? So 2 days ago on Sunday, I put them up for free. I told them they were egg eaters because we haven't been getting a lot of eggs. I've been getting eggs from my sister, and we kept 10 sentimental chickens. That's right, we had 40 some. We kept 9 or 10 sentimental chickens and one rooster, so he's included in the 9 or 10. And we have our geese, so they're noisy obviously, but they just bought a bunch of property and they need some free range chickens to help get the soil going again, and they didn't care that they were egg eaters. We have a lot of butchering we're doing this fall, and I just didn't want to do that. And sometimes when you've raised chickens for that many years, at least for me, I know some homesteaders are cutthroat, and I think I will be able to do that when I haven't had them for so long and I don't know. I just wasn't ready to do it. So I just gave them away to somebody who needed them to prepare land. And if they need to butcher them along the way, that's fine. But it just took a load off. We're about to butcher. We have 100 meat chickens we're about to butcher. I think around 90 chickens we're going to butcher in a little bit. We have a lot of my family and some family friends that we're going to get our meat chickens worth in the next couple weeks, and we're doing a lot of pigs this fall, so I just didn't want to add any more to my plate, and we're busy. So anyway, we got rid of 30 chickens. I need to come out here and harvest some more parsnips. I've been harvesting all the parsnip seeds. Good grief. My potatoes are definitely have finished up. I actually harvested some. I made Sizzle and Squeak for my grandma. I made it at her house, so I didn't, my grandparents are both in their upper 80s, pushing 90s, and they don't come, my grandma doesn't come to my house anymore. But my first year in this garden, my grandma did come and she sat in my rocking chair, which I think I'll always have. It needs refinished, but it was under my tree before, and I'll always have that rocking chair because I have this picture with my grandma in this garden, and it's just so special. I know my grandma's still alive, but I want to cherish that memory. And since she doesn't get out much of the house now, I went and gathered up all the ingredients. Sizzle and Squeak, there's a bunch of different names for it, but it's a German recipe, and my grandma doesn't really season it because she was raised in a German household, and partial German household, and they seasoned basically with salt and pepper. And I don't do that. I remember when I was in high school, actually, I always had a love for cooking, and I remember I had an old boyfriend in high school. Was at his house one day, and his mom was cooking green beans, and I always will remember this memory. And it was in West Virginia. I just wanted to watch her because I loved her green beans, and I just remember wanted to learn how she cooked them. I remember sitting there and watching this woman cook, and just being like, oh my gosh. And she was putting ham or bacon in there and just cooking it up, using garlic and all these spices, and it was just like a light bulb went off. And I think that was one of the first times, because I had already loved her green beans, I just kind of fell in love with the flavors of food and how to really prepare and put your heart into it. I make my green beans similar. I don't ever remember her giving or having a recipe. I don't know if she did, but I just took in all of that knowledge from that cooking time with her, and I always remember that. And each year when I make green beans for a holiday or whatever, I follow her recipe. And then from those green beans, I feel like I've been able to be like, okay, well, I can make any vegetable. Is my family home? I can make any vegetable taste good with enough bacon grease. With enough bacon, you can make any vegetable taste good. But it's also been a launching pad into a lot of other things and how to and I'm still learning. But I will say, my mom will say that I am the best cook in the family. So I'm just throwing that out there for y'all. And I'd like to say that the green bean lesson just kind of catapulted me into that direction. So anyway, there's my little story. Man, I feel like I always feel like mainly in these last few videos this fall, and I know fall has me all sentimental because these flowers in this garden is on a limited time. I am what I call an extroverted introvert. So it takes me a bit of time to really open up to somebody and really get on like a personal level. And it's been a few years on YouTube, and I, for some reason, I've just been sharing a lot, especially with my childhood and growing up and different things, and really letting you in, which isn't a bad thing. It's just vulnerability. To share my green bean story, to share my moving across the country story, to share different things. It is a vulnerability. but I guess I've gotten to know you a bit. So I feel like I can come out of my shell some, and it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, and I think a lot of you have mentioned in the comments at least that you've been enjoying it because you get to see different sides of me and really tell maybe a little bit more about who I am and why the way that I am. I just am getting glimpses of all these beautiful, it's getting me emotional. I went through a really good phase of not being emotional about this, but tonight, the gloves are off, guys. This could be the last night. I am emo, but let's show you some fun things I've been finding. Way down yonder, down the Chattahoochee. Look at that beauty. Oh, that's a cauliflower. She's covered in leaves, which is fine. Oh, holy mother of pearl! Look at that guy. That one's getting ready, man. Who knew? That's a beaut. This is what I get for coming to check. All doing so good. Look at that guy. Holla. These are Brussels. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh. This one's ready to go. I've never had my purple broccoli. Tastes like broccoli. How beautiful. There's another one. It's light purple because it's not ready yet. These are all Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts take forever. Oh, more. Oh dear. I'm like, more purple broccoli. Update on the bee situation. Yeah, they're still in here, in case you were wondering. I did get some of them out. I need, ooh, here's my beauty broccoli. Regular classic broccoli. Gorge. I got a lot of cabbages. I've ate pretty much all of these in here. I still have the rest of the bed. Pretty good. So I told you there would be a fall crop. And it's September 18th. I've been harvesting cabbages. Obviously my broccoli's getting ready. Brussels sprouts are nowhere near. I'm like, are you gonna be all right, sir? Hello, beauties. Oh my gosh, guys. There's my, oh, I'm gonna show you these funny little sunflowers. We're climbing through the beds. I've never seen these. Those are funky. Aren't those cool? You're a bee. Freaking me out. And obviously my teddy bear sunflowers. And I harvested all the tops from my whatchamacallits. Blue sunflower alley. Woo! I harvested all the tops from my whatchamacallits. I don't know. Oh, my walking onions. They're drying out in my drying rack. Oh, hello, beauty. You are gorge. A lot of these guys are past their prime, but look at this. All those are seeds. Aren't they glorious? Glorious. Okay. I think we're gonna call it a night, guys. Oh, my stars and stripes. Oh, are you gonna be gone in the morning? Could be. I would also like to preface that this camera is overcompensating and these are showing up super red, but they're more of a dark. I'll see if I can fix it on the screen, but they're not this bright. This is false advertising, but they are gorgeous. All right, guys. I'm going to pan you around, call it a night, and we'll actually check back in the morning. So this video is going to continue. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning and see how these fare. Bye, guys. One final thought. Because we live in such a harsh climate, when we are not in full bore garden season like we are right now, I get the comment so much. Why do you live where you live? Why don't you just move? Why don't you do this? Well, I can grow a lot where I live. I mean, this is where I'm called to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. And this is not, I don't feel like I'm missing out. Do you look at this garden and think, wow, they can't grow crap? We have been told that so many times where I live. I'll be in the garden section at a local Bi-Mart and picking up seeds, and people will come by and say, don't bother, you can't grow that. Don't bother, don't bother. If I did not bother. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that I bothered.